Hi, I'm Sarah Marks, one of the librarians here at UMass Lowell. For this video, I'm going to explain more about how data from statistics and polls are used in research. What is a poll? What are statistics? Polls and statistics are two different ways to collect data, but they're not collecting the same data. Both are small sets or samples of people that are being used to generalize about a larger group. Statistics are considered to be the raw numbers behind research. There are two types, descriptive and inferential. How many people live in your town today? How many people were in prison in 2016? How many people were treated for breast cancer in 2015? These are descriptive. Yes, the number can change tomorrow or the next day, but statistics are a static number that represents information for a time and place. Inferential statistics are used to make connections between different sets of information, and those are the types you typically study in a statistics class. Polls, on the other hand, are numbers that represent opinion. Do you like chunky or creamy peanut butter? Are you going to vote to legalize marijuana? What is your favorite color? The information is your opinion and can change. They are often good ways to show trends and shifts in culture. The Pew Research Center, for example, does a lot of polls and surveys about how people use the internet. And for statistics, a lot of descriptive statistics are collected by agencies like the Census Bureau. Years ago, when George W. Bush was president, comedian Stephen Colbert used to ask interview subjects to respond to the following question: George W. Bush, great president or the greatest president? This question highlights some of the potential problems with using data collected from polls. Polling questions need to be designed carefully. You don't want to lead people to the answer you want, but get the most honest answer they can provide. Other problems include sample size problems, that is, getting enough people to accurately represent everyone, the unwillingness of people to take a poll, and even the willingness of some people to give false information when answering a poll. That's not to say statistics are a perfect tool either. Statistics are typically seen as pure numbers, but they come without any context. The most common problem is seeing trends that aren't there. The graph on this slide is an example from the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, which is a parody on a lot of social topics. They created this chart off of actual statistics that illustrate the very problem with over-reliance on statistics. What do you think this chart shows? As the temperature rises, the number of pirates gets smaller, or number of pirates gets smaller, and thus the global temperature rises. Which is the cause? Which are the effects? Is there even a real pattern here? If you're really interested in that, you can read more at their open letter about it, and they'll tell you how they interpreted this data. The way to use statistics and polls in research is to not rely on them as your only evidence. Use statistics to help describe group. Census data is freely available to help describe towns, cities, and states around the country. Don't use statistical data that you don't understand, and don't try to interpret the data for your reader. Instead, give them some context and let them interpret it. Do you need help using statistics in your paper? The Purdue OWL website has a perfect web page for more support. What about using poll data in your research? If you're creating your own poll, work with your professor to make sure questions are written neutrally. If you're using polling data done by others, make sure you evaluate the source of the data. Look at the questions and answer options. Are they neutral or do they show bias? Check the organization that conducted the research. Do they have bias that they want to support? Bias is the biggest problem in research. Always evaluate the source of your data to make sure weight isn't given to one perspective over the other. If you need more help, ask a librarian, your professor, and the Writing Center. We're here to help you.